This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of another purge of the BS, sanctioned by the First Amendment. Frustration levels 0 to 100 have been authorized for use during this purge. All weapons are restricted. Government officials have not been granted immunity from the purge of the BS and shall undoubtedly receive the smoke. Commencing at the sound of the gong, any and all BS, especially unnecessary goofiness, will be purged without consequence. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be available, but they will be busy because they too will be watching the purge of the BS. Blessed be those who have already been victims of some BS. May God be with you all.
We can enter any home we want, and we will know it. His wanting is our will on this fine night. Don't force us to hurt you. He's just like a purge. Too loose, Andy.
In the stream already. No reply in the stream already. IMZ in the stream already. We get ready to purge some BS. Yes!
Happy purge!
You better find someplace else to go.
I got a wicked sweet tooth tonight. And I want my candy bar.
Y'all ready to purge today. Thank you for joining in to another Tuesday Purge Extravaganza. Special shouts to my mods stopping in nice and early, making sure that we got the foundation laid for a good purge of the BS today. I've been off for a couple of days, had to do some moving around, some traveling, see some family. Shouts to my pops for his 75th birthday. Shouts to my aunt for her birthday as well. I think she's 74. If I'm not mistaken. So shouts to living, right? That's what we're here to do. So let me make sure y'all can hear me correctly. I need a number 1 in the chat from 1 or 2 of my mods just to make sure we're good. Am I too loud? Am I good? What we got? All right, looks like we're good. All right, let's bring this down. I'm partying too hard. So once again, thank you for stopping into another purge of the BS. I am your host, Papa Purge, Mr. Hayes, the one and only. Okay? And I have internalized a lot of BS. For the last day or two. It needs to come out, because if not, it gets inside and it permeates. So, as you know, we have to keep it on the surface level here. I'm not going to get too deep into this next person's background, but I want to talk about a gentleman named Ben Crump. Okay? Ben Crump, from what I've seen, has normally been the guy that's trying to get money from police departments due to shootings of black people. Okay, that's the general gist of where I've seen him. But recently he popped up in something a little bit different, and I'm thinking, either black people shootings are not paying like they used to, or maybe black people aren't getting shot as often as they used to. So he had to find a new grift. So he has decided to represent somebody in a roller coaster crash, which is definitely outside of the realms of black people and police officers. But hey, he's a lawyer. I guess he can represent whoever and however he wants. But we're going to go over the story real quick. You guys can share with me if you think this is a grift or if he's genuine in his advocacy for roller coaster accident victims. Totally up to y'all, okay? But we're going to watch it. Hold on. Let's move it then. All right.
He was the type of guy that would listen no matter what.
A family in need of answers.
He loved theme parks.
1 week after their son died after riding a roller coaster at Epic Universe.
And this is the man who died after riding the Stardust Racers ride at Epic Universe last week. He was at the park with his girlfriend. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. Attorney Ben Crump was in Central Florida today alongside the family of 32-year-old Kevin Rodriguez Zavala. Crump says the family deserves answers.
All right, I'm going to stop right there. Who called Ben Crump? Like, did they call Ben Crump or did Crump volunteer his services? Because this is not the normal Ben Crump client. I'm not going to say what you know I want to say, but this person does not fit the normal profile of a Crump client. So for some reason, Ben Crump has decided to cross the lines, the racial divides, and represent other personnel, which may be a good thing because I used to get on him about only showing up when black people got shot. So maybe if he branches out and starts doing things, I'll be more pleased with his presence. But let's just see what he's going to do with this.
He held that news conference this afternoon where he called for the roller coaster to remain closed until a full investigation is complete. Okay. He says that the man was sitting next to his girlfriend in the front row of the coaster and was unconscious for the majority of the ride. He says that Rodriguez Zavala hit his head several times on the metal bar on the front of the ride, which was the cause of the death.
Never did they believe that it would end up with Kevin being killed on the Universal Studios Epic Universe ride. They never would have believed that.
I can't with this dude, Joe. I can't.
Roller coaster.
Crump says he wants an investigation into whether the safety restraint system was working properly. And Kevin's family, as you saw right there, was standing right next to Crump as he demanded answers from Universal.
Fox 35's Marie Edinger is joining us live now from Epic Universe. And Marie, Kevin actually worked at one of the theme parks here.
Yeah, and he worked at SeaWorld and his girlfriend.
All right, I don't think I need to go through much more. I'm not even going to ask. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. Like something about the way he was talking and just doesn't feel right. I know what Crump is here to do. And I feel bad for the guy's family, but I just want to say, if Ben Crump is going to be an advocate for something, he needs to actually be an advocate and not just a grifting money grab. Like, come on, bro. This is definitely not racially motivated. So it doesn't fit that whole thing. But it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I look at his face and hearing him talk, and it's not selling to me. Not selling as authentic. It's selling as exactly what I feel like it is that money grab. Like, listen to him.
Did they believe that it would end up with Kevin being killed on?
Now, first of all, the terminology killed might not be proper in this context, Mr. Crump, Mr. Lawyer person, because there wasn't necessarily any foul play. Now, he was injured, and he did unalive, but it wasn't, nefarious foul play of some racist, ride operator, and they didn't strap his thing in correctly or something. Like, it's not that. So we don't need you. They could have just gone with a Florida attorney on that one. Like, I'm inclined to believe he called them. This family just doesn't seem like the type that the first thing they're going to think of when their son or whomever passes away is call Ben Crump. No, not at all.
On the Universal Studios Epic Universe.
You don't even know the ride name.
They never.
You don't even know.
They never would have believed that because he had been on so many other rides.
Well, see, screw Ben Crump. I'm just not with it. I'm just not with it. Hey, you know what? Get your money, player. If people want to keep doing that, fine. But last month, you were an advocate for black people getting shot by the police, and that was all I'd ever seen from Ben Crump, and I did complain about that. I was like, I never see him doing anything, you know. Now, not to say that he's never donated to an organization or any of those kind of things, but I never really see him out doing stuff. He always just showing up at a press conference, trying to get some money, and it's normally the same story behind it. This one is a little bit different, so I'm pretty sure he smelled money because, of course, Universal has plenty of money, and anytime somebody dies on a roller coaster, somebody's paying out. So he smelled the money and he went towards it. So anybody else, if I'd had said this before and I'll say it again, stop getting Ben Crump, because I feel like he's just getting over on people's pain in more ways than one. And I think if we all can see it, maybe we shouldn't feed into it as much. Just saying. I'm just saying, maybe we could just kind of tell Mr. Crump, bro, we see what you're doing, and it's not authentic. It's not authentic. Like the Epic Universe ride. He don't even know the case, man. He's just over there to try to get some money. Anyway, I'm done with Ben. Keep hiring Ben Crump. I don't know. He doesn't seem like that good of a lawyer to me, like the way he speaks and stuff. He just doesn't seem to have that, you know, that Johnny Cochran type of, you know. But he apparently wins big money for a lot of people, so they keep hiring this dude. But yeah, I have never seen him anywhere outside of a police shooting. So I think he's branching out now. He maybe, like I said in the beginning of the segment, maybe there's not enough black people getting unalived by the police recently, and he had to find a new grift. And if that's the reason for it, hey, I'm all for that. That's actually a positive. If he can't find any more of those to do right now, that means that there may have been some changes, okay? I'm telling you right now, Universal will just pay some money to get rid of it. They have a bank for that. There's like an account for it. If something happens, we pay, you know? I mean, they might not pay billions of dollars or anything like that, but you'll get a couple dollars. If somebody dies on a ride, like, they'll give you a couple dollars. You don't need Ben Crump. That's all I'm saying. Could have got, what's the guy's name? The old white dude, John Morgan. Get John Morgan. He's more local to the Florida area. I don't know. I don't know. Ben Crump might be from Florida. I don't know his background. I just know the only time I ever seen him before now was when some black person got shot by the police. Haven't seen nothing like that. We'll see. So nonetheless, we're just gonna run into this other thing. Okay, hold on a second, guys. I got to see what this story is first before I say anything. So there's a federal investigation to catch the GOAT of grooming. I didn't know that there was a GOAT level groomer, but apparently he is our next segment. Now, hopefully this doesn't delve into another one of my rants about bad parenting and parents not paying attention to their kids, but we'll see. We're going to see. While y'all are waiting, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit it. Make sure the algorithm knows that you are here. And let's see what this story is about. Federal. I got to bring it into the page. Y'all can't see it.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Tessa Spencer. First at 6, new details from federal authorities about suspended Charleston County Magistrate Judge James Gosnell. We have team coverage tonight on the case and do want to warn you, the details are very disturbing. Emily Deanne joining us now live from downtown Charleston, where Gosnell appeared before a federal judge for a detention hearing today. Emily.
Well, we learned today that Gosnell will stay behind bars as we await a preliminary hearing. This comes after his attorney waived that detention hearing this afternoon. We learned today that federal investigators say that they found hundreds of photos, videos, and conversations involving children and infants less than a year old.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, what? 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 Infants less than a year old? What kind of... Okay. Hold on. Let's.
The photos.
I'm already so appalled right now when they said infants less than a year old. I am so ready.
Videos and conversations involving children and infants less than a year old. The Department of Homeland Security searched Gosnell's Charleston home on September 16th. Then on the 17th, they searched his Charleston County court chambers where they seized bank records. Those bank records, they say, confirmed transactions for child sexual abuse materials. This stemmed from a cyber tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children in late 2024.
James Gosnell was appointed to the position of trust to protect the community from criminals amongst us. But as detailed in the government's detention memorandum, he is alleged to have abused and exploited the most vulnerable, which are infants and toddlers.
Federal agents say they are still combing through all of the evidence on the devices. In all, 14 USB drives and iPhone discs, iPads, VHS tapes, and numerous other electronic devices, all containing child sexual abuse materials, were seized. Federal officials say they also found messages where Gosnell talked about sexually abusing neighborhood children. Federal agents also found evidence Gosnell was leading Zoom posts to, quote, teach other pedophiles the tricks of the trade.
Yo, I can't. This was a judge? This is a judge. Okay. Pause for 1 second here. So this is a federal judge who was also had the discretion to send people to jail. Meanwhile, he's addicted to baby porn. I'm not even gonna call it child porn, infant porn, which is a whole, I don't even know if I can say that, but without saying it, it's in poor context. We're not even talking about borderline 17, 18-year-old or nothing. No, we're talking babies, okay? Now, before we just slam this guy on the stake, understand this. That material had to be generated from somewhere, right? So he was paying somebody's parents. You see where this is going again, right? He was paying somebody's parents at some point to push this content to him. You can't get, if he didn't have any kids that young, so he's not just, and he's fantasizing about the neighborhood kids, and then he shows up, puts on a judge's robe, and sends people to jail. This is what we got, guys. This is what we got. I don't know what I'm going to say with this. I just, like I said, let's not forget that he didn't have any of these items or stuff himself. He had to procure it from somewhere else, and it had to be generated by someone in the first place. So maybe we're 3 levels beyond it, but somebody's parents, y'all know where I'm gonna go. I knew it was gonna go here. And I was worried about it because I don't want to take the onus off the judge for being a nasty old man. But how does he get them pictures if nobody takes pictures of their naked ass babies and sells them? That's wrong too. And they should also be prosecuted. See what I'm saying? All right, I know. This guy's easy. Look at his eyes. He's easy to slam the book at right now. He's a judge. He's supposed to be held to a higher standard. That's all good and well. But let's not forget, babies don't take pictures of themselves, and they damn sure don't sell them. They don't have an OnlyFans. So there's some parents in this transaction somewhere that maybe this judge knows directly or not, but they need to be prosecuted as well.
End quote. Federal investigators are now calling on the public to help them identify potential victims. Our website has more.
Emily, according to that latest court filing that you just mentioned, it reads that, quote, the weight of the evidence against Gosnell is immense, overwhelming, and conclusive. It's a disturbing case made more disturbing by the defendant's standing within the legal community. In addition, that filing also read, quote, as a judge, he was intimately involved in the administration of justice, including individuals charged with child sex crimes. He knew the legal consequences if he was caught. He knew the reputational and community harm that would result. He knew the harm that comes to the children victimized in the CSAM industry, and yet he still persisted. Now, authorities are asking for help to locate and identify any and all possible victims. Some of them may be in the Charleston area, and Homeland Security needs the public's input to assist in that. They ask if you have a child or know of a child that was ever alone with or held by James Benjamin Gosnell. They ask that you please come forward with any information.
If your child was ever held by him, like if he even touched to hug your child, we want to know. All right. But see, this is the thing. It's too little too late to some degree. Some of these victims have been victimized. That has happened. So I still want the parents. I still want the parents.
Legal
Y'all not gonna
analyst
make me
Charlie
forget.
Condon says coming forward in cases like this can be extremely difficult, but it's something that should be done right away. And there are plenty of local advocacy organizations that can help.
If you think there's a chance that this defendant had access to your child, to do all you can to look into the matter. Now, whether that's a physical exam or talking, if the child's verbal, to talk with the child in the appropriate setting. And if you want to get professional help, again, we've got some really, really good organizations here in the Low Country. And to reach out to these different centers, the D. Norton Center would have many, many expert forensic interviewers to be of assistance.
And Homeland Security has set up a tip line for that purpose on Twitter or X. It is there on your screen. You can notify.
Man, they all are on my list right now. Now you need the public to tell you about all this kind of stuff that's probably been going on for a while with the same judge that's been in the same courtroom for quite some time. Y'all not doing y'all job. The average person can't even go, a couple months without paying their freaking federal taxes. Y'all waited till he had possibly victimized hundreds of people. And now you want somebody to say something. No, y'all should have been done something about that. I can't with these folks. They want us to be excited about the fact that this federal investigation is happening. But they mentioned he had been on the bench for years. So this has been going on for years. He didn't just pop up in 2025 as an old nasty white man. Okay? He's been that guy. They probably talk about it around the office. He probably has something nasty as the backdrop on his cell phone. But they let him kind of keep doing it so they could build up a federal case. Man, first time, you need to take that out. But let's not forget that material comes from somewhere. So I think all parties involved need to be purged immediately. The judge, he's going to see some time. I don't know how much time you see for material. I know there's a lot of time involved if you physically do something to a child, but if you just get caught with a bunch of nasty shit on your phone, I don't really know what the charges are for that, because it is wrong, but I don't believe that it's going to be anywhere near what you would get if you actually completed those acts. So he's going to end up having to snitch on whoever gave him the shit in the first place. That's what's going to happen, because somebody gave him that. Somebody told him, hey, this is where you get this material from. And maybe he was generating some of it himself, but I don't really know the full, how he would have access to people's kids alone like that. What is he, what kind of courthouse we got going on here? Is it daycare and a courthouse at the same time? Most times when your kids are with you at court, they're with you. Now, if this is a foster child or something, that could be a whole nother story, but he wouldn't be able to do that by himself. That would be a whole group of people working on that. So we'll see where this goes. But I still want the parents that generated the baby porn. That's all I'm saying. Not saying the judge is okay. Just saying let's put them all in the bin at the same time. See, this is crazy, man. That's the person that puts you in jail for doing exactly what they're doing. And we're supposed to trust that legal system? Forget your race. I'm just saying, you're supposed to trust that the judge who be doing that is going to be fair and impartial when it comes to you? Oh my God. No wonder people are scared of going to court. You don't know what that judge up on the bench has gone through or might be going through on that particular day. And that one word that gives them so much power, it's called discretion. That's enough to scare people. I'll give you that. That's a lot. All right. Moving to the next one. Make sure y'all are hitting the likeage of buttons, okay? Make sure if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, jump in the chat, tell us what's up. See what we got next here. Purple Groovy, you already know. He didn't do all that by himself. He's an old rickety white man. People would have noticed it. It would have been creepy looking. So he was setting things up. It's probably a whole ring. You know, he just the one that had a little too much going on, and somebody ended up diming him out a little bit. Like, yeah, y'all need to check on Judge such and such. I seen something in his phone when he was at the water cooler. So, and I'm just saying, I've heard a lot of things have happened with the juveniles and stuff like that. There's been a situation recently in Maryland where somebody who was part of the juvenile system, like the foster care system, they had her staying in a hotel at the Residence Inn, and she came up unalived. And I didn't know that that's where they put kids. I thought they were like in a center somewhere, you know, like I don't know. Like I said, I've never been in that situation, so I don't know where I thought they kept kids that were, you know, waiting on adoptions or whatever, you know, teenage kids, 15, 16 years old, but apparently they put them in hotels in Baltimore. So recently a young lady came up. They're not really sure what happened. They think she OD'd. I think that's what they said. So it's kind of crazy. But anyway, protect the kids, man. Protect the kids. Selling baby porn is diabolical. I swear, I would beat that person up too. Going to tell your little babies to pose. Or you're taking pictures of you doing something ridiculous to a child and sending it to somebody else. You need to be buried under the jail. Oh my goodness. All right. I see it's just that kind of episode today, guys. It really is. It really is.
Wild piece of video here, too.
Because now we're going to go to the other side of the parenting, I guess. And there was this crazy smash and grab situation that happened out in, I want to say it's California. Double check that. But basically, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with people and their children. Because if your kids are part of a flash mob of 30 or 40 people, to some degree, there's a parenting problem. So in this one, this has been like a major story. It's got Trump and them talking about sending some troops out to deal with the crime in California. You know, they've been talking about that. They sent some people out to Portland already to deal with that. And the Portland thing was over something that happened to Ice Cube. I didn't even know that was going on, but apparently Antifa is now a terrorist organization. Ice Cube got attacked in Portland, or at least his bus did. And kids are doing smash and grabs in California to the point that they think they're going to have to send the troops out to deal with the kids. That's a bad idea, but we're going to do here. So let's check this story out real quick.
Wild piece of video here. 24 robbers stormed the video here. Piece of video here. 24 robbers storming their way into a California jewelry store, ready to smash and grab whatever they can. Cameras recorded, as you can see, the entire crime.
And as WBZ's Chris Tanaka shows us, that footage helped police quickly track down some of the suspects.
So when they went in, they basically took over the store.
It was on a Monday afternoon when police say nearly 25 suspects, at least 3 armed with guns, stormed Heller Jewelers in San
Whoa, whoa, whoa. This one dude just had a pickaxe. How do you walk down the street with a pickaxe? You see him? They got like 2 dudes with pickaxes. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I guess, you know, at times you want the police to look the other way, right? You want them to not necessarily bother the kids on the corner for just hanging out. But if you see a mob of 25 people with masks on and pickaxes, suffice to say that wherever they're going, something's about to go down. So you may want to intervene at that point. But whatever. I'm not a police officer. And personally, as an individual police officer, I probably wouldn't want to go up against 25 people with pickaxes and stuff because you might get hurt. So,
guns stormed Heller Jewelers in San Ramon, California.
Crowbars and the pickaxes and basically taking whatever jewelry was available.
Cell phone video shows the suspects locked in the store. At least one fired a shot to break the glass door open. Police say this was a security measure put in place after the store was robbed 2 years ago. Now, a security guard has to press a button to let people out.
What ended up happening was once the suspects went in, the door locked behind them.
A newly acquired drone captured the suspects trying to flee. 6 getaway cars were waiting about 100 feet away in the valet area.
It shows all the suspect vehicles, as well as all the suspects entering, leaving their cars and entering their cars.
Police pursued the suspects until the chase posed a danger to the public. But with the help of nearby law enforcement and detailed footage of the suspects' actions, police were able to quickly arrest 7 of the nearly 24 involved. All 7 are from Oakland, ranging in age from 17 to 31.
Hold up, 17 to 31? So you got grown-ass people out there. You got at least one grown-ass man probably leading the pack. 31 years old out there with 17-year-olds doing smash and grabs. That's somebody's peoples. Get your uncle, whoever that is, 30-something years old, running around with the 17-year-olds doing smash and grabs on jewelry stores. Your life is shit. If that's what you got going on, oh my gosh.
And are believed to be connected to similar crimes across the Bay Area.
This is not their first time doing something like this.
So far, police have recovered 2 guns and some jewelry left behind. Many of the getaway vehicles had been reported stolen. Despite the arrests, the group still managed to escape with roughly $1 million worth of goods.
Definitely a well-orchestrated event that requires a lot of investigation.
Now, did they really get $1 million worth of stuff? Or did somebody just claim they got $1 million worth of stuff so the insurance has to pay for $1 million worth of stuff? I don't know. But I guess 25 people grabbing a bunch of jewelry, it can add up pretty quick. So depending on how high end the jewelry store is. But this is the new thing. So this trend, as they're calling it now, is what the new administration has been focused on when it comes to California. And they think that they're going to need to send some troops out there. Stop the riffraff happening. I don't know how y'all feel about that. Me personally, I don't think they need the military to deal with teenagers, but the one they said the person was 31, or at least one person was in their 30s. So there's probably a couple of people in their 30s, ain't never left the street, never really did nothing with their life, graduated high school and just stayed around, hanging with the kids. All the kids probably respect the hell out of them, but they don't know this dude's life is shit, hanging with y'all. $1 million worth of stuff. Okay. If you're getting away with $1 million worth of things in each one of these little robberies, you shouldn't have to keep doing these robberies. You see what I'm saying? Shouldn't have to do. I mean, I'm not saying you have to do it in the first place. I'm just saying if that's the kind of loot you're actually getting away with by doing this one or 2 times, it shouldn't be a string of these. It'll be 1, maybe 2, and then get out of town and go sip mimosas on the beach wherever you can go. But they're some local kids. They're local. They stole people's cars. They drove down there. Everybody got the tags. And they already caught 7 of them. So, them 7, at least 3 of them 7 snitching. At least 3 of them 7 is snitching. A couple of other ones, they're going to hold it down. But at least 3 of them got at least 1 or 2 more names, and they snitching. That whole record is going. But the point I'm trying to make is they weren't just kids out there. I thought it was kids. This was grown-ups, too. So the grown-ups are that's now what needs to be purged. You are not trying to stop the kids from doing this. You're actually part of it. So we can keep talking about these children, but I keep telling y'all it is a parenting problem. If you 30-something years old, you're supposed to be the voice of reason if you're hanging around teenagers. But instead, they're orchestrating them to do it so that these kids can end up with records as juveniles and all types of stuff. It's such a ridiculous world, man. Doing it to the kids. Anyway, let's move to the next thing. What we got next? Oh, no, we got some more poor parenting? Oh. I thought that was it. I thought I had exacerbated poor parenting. Or is this... No, this is just a follow-up story to the other. I don't want to do it. I already said what I say. All right, let's see what we got here. Only got a few more to go. All right, so this lady...
A Maryland woman says
recently has been going viral as she apparently went to Africa and was violently abducted along with her friend, it looks like. Well, let's see what the story is, but apparently some lady went to Africa and she was abducted and possibly assaulted, and she's not getting any press for it. So the Fox News team has decided to make sure that she's at least heard. Because that's crazy. Like, I didn't hear nothing about it. So let's see what we got going on, guys. Hot in here. And if you feel so inclined to support the show, make sure you send a super chat. I know it's early in the month, people got bills, right? But yeah, always support the content creators that support you, man. So anyway, let's see what this story got.
she was drugged and kidnapped on vacation in Africa and barely escaped with her life.
She's just gotten home, and tonight she shares her story with Bob Barnard.
I don't know what happened to me. Just know I was trying to fight. I was fighting for my life. A grown-ass man. I was fighting for my life. You know what I'm saying?
We met best friends Mika and Queen at Mika's home in Montgomery County. They just got home Tuesday from what was supposed to be another one of their adventurous week-long vacations, this time to Tunisia. That's
Hold up, pause. Second here. It looked weird. It looked like she had the same exact clothes on in this shot versus the other shot, but maybe she's just a chick that wears hoodies all the time. It just seemed weird that she would have the same clothes on pre-assault, pre-coming back to the U.S., and then just happen to have the same thing. I don't know. Let's hear the story.
They just got home Tuesday from what was supposed to be another one of their adventurous week-long vacations, this time to Tunisia. That's in northern Africa.
It was traumatizing. Like, even here, like now, like she got her own house, I got my own place. We stayed together. Like, we still scared because it's like, I don't even know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't know if y'all...
Mika says this past Saturday night, after returning from a club, she was drugged and kidnapped from her hotel after going to the lobby to get some tissues.
The next thing I remember, I'm in the back of a car. And I just start opening doors. I start panicking. I'm opening doors. I'm trying to get out.
She says a man was behind the wheel.
He's trying to pull me back in the car. I'm yelling, help, help, somebody help me. He's covering my mouth. That's where these scratches are from. He punching me all right here. I don't know if he thought he was going to knock me out, but I kept fighting. It was nothing. It had to be angels or something with me for me to... It's a grown man. He's punching me in my face, on my forehead, and both of my eyes. He's punching me. So I'm like... I just kept thinking I gotta get back home to my kids. Like, I just gotta get back home to my kids. So I just kept fighting. We're fighting. He's hitting me. We're gonna blow for blow. He's hitting me. I'm hitting him.
Queen was back at the hotel, the Penthouse Suites Hotel in Tunis. This is from its website. She says they were less than helpful.
And I'm running around the hotel looking for her. And like, bro, y'all wanna tell me where she is? Like, what's going on? What's going on?
Okay, so wait a second now. I thought they were at the club together. Okay, all right, hold on. No. I know what y'all think I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just taking in the information. Now, thank you, Storm 1163, for stopping in and letting us know that apparently abductions in Africa happen all the time. And last year in South Africa, there were 2,000 or 17,000 alone. That's a lot. Seems like this should be a topic of discussion. Like when you're traveling and you say, "Hey, man, I want to go check out Tunisia." Maybe somebody should warn you of things like this. Not saying that that would have prevented her from having to go through it, but if you know you're in a very sketchy kind of area, you might want to use the buddy system so that your friend would have been present for whatever was going on. You'd have gone off on your own. Most times, like, women go to the bathroom with each other. Like, hey, I'm going to the bathroom, and they go together. So it does strike me as a little weird that she just was randomly off by herself. But that doesn't mean that she deserved to get abducted. I'm just saying that, you know, if you're going to go to these foreign countries, turn up, you need to be careful. You need to be very careful. I'm wondering about this friend, though. I'm wondering about the friend, because she doesn't have a scratch on her, so she obviously wasn't part of it. And she's all distraught now, but wasn't looking for her friend at the time. So anyway.
And they started telling me like, oh, she left with this person, or she left with this person, or she made a friend. And I'm like, how can she make a friend? She doesn't speak these languages.
Mika has 2 black eyes, scrapes on her arms, and other injuries. She was able to get away and frantically make it back to the hotel.
All I could do was like go and try to get help and go downstairs and beg for help and beg for help. Like, please, y'all help me. She was hurt. Please help me, please. I have videos. They like walking away. They like, this didn't happen here. We don't know what you're talking about.
They called the U.S. Embassy in Tunis and were soon met by embassy staff and local police. Mika sharing her story on TikTok and Instagram.
They really tried to kidnap me in Africa. I feel like they never expected for me to come back. I was not supposed to come back to the hotel. I was supposed to, whatever plan they had for me, God had another plan.
We've reached out.
All right, that's wild. She thinks that the hotel people set her up. You know, there's some... This woman possibly went through an assault, and I feel for them. But there's definitely something not right in this story. I don't know if it's the hotel staff, the fact that they said she met a friend, so that probably means that she did walk off with someone. Not saying he had a right to assault her, but walking off with strangers is definitely a way that things like this do happen. And she didn't seem to mention that when she was telling the story. She didn't say, like, I met this dude and he was nice and, you know, we started talking and we were about to go to his space or whatever. That whole piece of the story was gone. It kind of sounded like she was just walking down a hallway and somebody punched her in the head and tried to drag her in a car. At least that's what she tried to make it sound like. So, not saying she deserved that, but let's tell the whole story. Maybe you can help a young lady use some discernment the next time they go to Africa. Say, hey, this guy said XYZ. I knew I shouldn't have believed that or whatever. Like, just, you might want to help somebody with this because it just seems like something's missing. And then the fact that there's no police involved, no police report was filed in Africa, like before she came back to U.S. You know, I don't know. It's just something's not right about this one. This could be another brick lady situation happening. I don't know. I'm just saying something ain't right. Smells a little funny to me, but hopefully the lady gets better, but I don't know. There was probably some irresponsibility. If this went down as she said it went down, she was definitely venturing off into places with strangers, and you definitely don't want to do that. You got to be more careful, okay? Ladies, gentlemen, too. They'll get you too, bro. Walk up on the wrong one. So, got to be more careful, guys. Seriously. Yeah, that's a rough one, man. I need a little more, I need more context on it. I feel like something's not right in that story. I just don't know what it is yet. Might come out later. We'll see. Like, there's no, did you get a R kit done or anything? She said she was drugged. So were you passed out? I got questions. Passed out and you just woke up somewhere, or like, because if that's the case, why wasn't your friend looking for you? I don't know. I don't know, guys. Like I said, I got questions and I didn't get answers to my questions in that new segment. But I don't want to be insensitive because there's a chance that this woman was assaulted. I don't want people to think that I'm insensitive, trying to find good information so I can pass it on to the next person so that they don't get caught up in this shit. So that's what we need. So anyway, what's the next one we got here? Somebody got slapped out of a seat. Okay. That's about.
Hey, Leah, thanks a lot.
Video shows woman slapping senior over table. You know what? It's so much. Something is wrong with us, man. Something is wrong with us. Now, this might be a super old Karen that got slapped. That could happen too, because they annoying. Some of them. I don't recommend smacking them, but I can see why people do. You know? I don't necessarily think they should, but I can see like why they get smacked, because they be annoying. And some people don't know how to use their words. So they use their open slap hand. So what do we have here? What do we have here?
Hey, Leanne, thanks a lot. New video tonight that you'll only see on Local 10 News of a food fight.
A dispute over seating escalating to violence at a popular food hall inside the Aventura Mall. Local 10's Rosh Lowe is live with a closer look at the exclusive video. Rosh.
All right, in a moment, everybody, you're going to see it. You're going to see slap, slap, slap. What is going on here? It's in a food court, a food.
All right, Rush is way too excited about this story. He is very excited about telling this story. Watch how he comes in. He's like, I have been waiting all day to tell y'all about this right here. I noticed they have some interesting colors in their little logo, but I don't know if that means something. Like, is this like the news station for people of alternative lifestyles? I don't know.
Look at the exclusive video. Rosh.
All right, in a moment, everybody, you're going to see it. You're going to see slap, slap, slap. What is going on here? It's in a food court, a food fight. Now, when I bring up the word food fight, what do you think of? You think of elementary school, maybe middle school? These are adults in the Aventura Mall. A slap right across the face. Let's watch that again. And this woman gets a hand across the face as well.
Oh.
And another one.
Oh.
What in the world is going on here? After all, this is the food court at the Aventura Mall. It's a food fight at the food court, and now Local 10 has the video. Look at all these heads turning. Show me how she slaps you. Show me. Like this. Right in the face like that. Show me. Right in the face. And back in August, we spoke with 72-year-old Hanania Levy. He tells us all about the slap.
I feel dizzy and I said, what the hell, what am I doing?
It happened at the new restaurant Italy, a dispute over a table and chairs, and soon the cops would be called. Arrested Layla Trinchero. She told officers that she sat at a table to eat food and wait for her husband and son, which she said was empty. She says a woman approached her and told her that her family was sitting at that table. Was she hungry?
I don't know why I go to this lady and I say, like, come down, because she jumped on the other lady and she tried to take the chair from the other lady.
Sure enough, the video shows emotions boiling over, and it all happens
in front of the kids. I see he's getting ready to say exactly what I was saying.
In front of children.
Yep.
You can see Hanania comforting his family as they witness this slap. You certainly don't expect tears when all you want is food. But steamed over a chair and table lands a woman in jail facing a battery charge. So it wasn't only the pasta that packed a punch at Italy. You saw it in the video there, a bunch of slaps. And I mentioned this in the story. Those little kids were impacted by this. You saw there the child hugging his grandfather. As far as the suspect goes, she's now out of jail, but her case continues. In fact, she recently.
All right, I'm telling you, something is up with this station. I don't know what. Yo, what city is it? Got 1 million subbies. Aventura Mall, is that California somewhere? But the logo and it's WLG. I don't know if that's pansexuals, lesbians, and gays. I don't know. Maybe. But I think them having a news station would be an awesome idea. Just being honest. As we can see, this guy is really presenting this story. He said, you're going to get a slap, and you're going to see another slap, and then another slap, and what's going on in the food court? So I give it to the guy. He presented the story with a little bit of comedy, but at the end of the day, this is all over a chair. Somebody went to jail over a chair at the food court in front of the kids. So now the kids are going to be traumatized by food courts, chairs, and all types of stuff. No, man. This is somebody's peoples. That's what I'm saying. If these are your folks doing this, talk to your peoples, man. I don't know these folks, but they just walking around here causing havoc to the rest of us. Like the worst type of NPCs. Just in the way. Like in the traffic going slow. Just in the way. So anyway, shouts to the WPLG Local 10 and their news coverage. Their alternative news coverage. I think it's actually pretty entertaining. And I would definitely like to see more of that. Tell you right now, there is so much going on. Like when you just, if you can just go through your day, not run into no BS, go to sleep at night, eat your little dinner, whatever, go to sleep at night, and that's your day, you are fortunate. You're one of the fortunate few. because there is so much debauchery, craziness, people losing their minds going on in the world at all times. And you don't know exactly where those people are located when their little chip goes off and they decide to choose violence. You know, it's just, that's a lot going on. Like, if you get a chair at the food court, we're in a fight over the chairs. They don't have any other chairs. Like, the dude, if I was the dude, I would have just got the woman another chair. Like, we're not even gonna go through all of this. You fighting my wife in front of the kids. I can't put my hands on you because I'm a dude, but I could easily throw you off the side of this food court and the problem would be solved, but I can't do that. So I'm just gonna get you a chair. Okay? Anyway. No, I'm serious. I'm going to check out WPLG. I know they got something weird going on over there. I think I'm going to be able to find a lot of content if I follow their news channel. So anyway, let's get to the next one. We got 2 more left, and then we are out of here. Out of here. Got right here. Okay. Jeez. Now, I keep talking about you got to be more careful. And I want people to be good Samaritans, but I was talking to a friend of mine recently about the whole good Samaritan thing. See something, say something, that kind of stuff. And they sent me a story of, I guess, a couple that was trying to intervene in some situation, and they got deleted over it. It's like, you want to help people, but you never know who you are dealing with, right? So, but you don't also want to just turn away. And I guess that's why people just start recording. It's like, look, I might not be able to stop this, but I can help get you some evidence if you live through it and go to court. But in this one, some couple in Queens trying to be helpful. Let me find out what this is. This seems like it might be a little crazy. Got robbed. What else? And delete. Oh. Already? This one's for the not so sensitive. All right, so if you're sensitive, I don't think you want to hear this one. Might be gruesome. Man, you got to be more careful, man. I'm all for helping people out, but that just sucks, man. Go to help somebody out and then something happens to you being helpful. It's like the worst, man.
A vigil will be held tonight for a couple tortured and murdered in their home in Queens. This as we learn new details about the alleged killer and his movements in the days after the killing. Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles is live in Belrose with the latest. Darla?
Shutdown, this community refuses to let the events of the last 5 days overshadow the lives of Frank and Maureen Olton and how much they were loved by their friends and family. In a few hours, many people are expected to come and gather and celebrate their lives and try to continue to distance the new and disturbing details about this case.
Last night, as you know, Jamil Crump.
All right, well, he has the look of danger. Before we even go any further, whoever took this picture knew the expression to take a picture of. If you want this guy to look like a monster, here's your monster uniform, sir. He's got the face. So I'm inclined to guilty. Like, hey, you haven't heard the evidence yet. No, look at him. He's guilty. He did it. Whatever it is, this guy did it. I know somebody's going to be all sensitive, like, you're innocent until proven guilty, but we know he did it, so I can say this, okay? So calm down.
McCriff was arraigned and remanded on a criminal complaint charging him with multiple counts of first-degree murder.
Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz Friday morning with more on the investigation into the murders of Frank and Maureen Olton that sadly become more depraved and more heartbreaking with each new detail.
The male victim died, as you know, due to multiple stab wounds to his torso. The female victim suffered fractured larynx and was badly burned and inhaled soot.
The autopsy revealing that the 77-year-old mother and grandmother was still alive when the fire was intentionally set to conceal the burglary, robbery, and kidnapping at their home that investigators say 42-year-old Jamil McGriff confessed to, telling officers, "I'll admit it, I kill them. I don't give an expletive. I kill them. I burnt the expletive."
The things that we can corroborate is that he did kill them. That is quite clear from the evidence.
Okay. Investigators now believe Frank Olton was simply in his backyard Monday morning around 10 as McGriff was casing the block.
He went to this home on 254th Street, knocked on the door, or saw the person in the backyard, the victim in the backyard. There was some, engagement in the backyard.
And just 3 hours after the gruesome murders, prosecutors say McGriff made two $400 purchases with the Olton stolen credit card.
He went from here to the Bronx, to Manhattan. He went to movies.
How do you just stab the crap out of people and go shopping? Like there was no residual, let me hide out for a couple days, or not saying that I wanted the guy to get away. I'm just saying that the diabolicality of the mindset of I'm going to unalive two people by stabbing them and all that kind of stuff. And then, because I've messed my clothes up doing this, I'm going to go on a shopping spree. Immediately. Like not even get out of town and go to another state. No. I'm going to hop the train and head right to the mall. And then he confessed to it. So yeah, he's going to go under the jail. I don't know what New York's penalty levels are. I don't think they still have the death penalty up there, but the public would definitely ask for it. You got this monstrous looking black dude. He took out some older white people who obviously were not detrimental to the block that they lived on. Everybody seemed to love him. Yeah, they would make a serious example of him. And he said it with no remorse, and he tried to set them on fire after he had stabbed these people. Diabolical.
Bought clothes at Macy's, all on the victim's card.
Police say McGriff, a level 3 sex offender and career criminal, was actively being sought for 2 robberies on the Lower East Side in August and September before the Oltons were killed on Monday.
Hold up. So he was he's an RSO. He's already wanted for 2 other robberies and assault. So that means that technically they were looking for him already. And they didn't find him till after he does all of this. Or were they just following him around, waiting for him to commit a certain crime, and they were too late, so to speak. I don't know, but it sounds like he shouldn't have been walking on the street, or at least should have been under pretty heavy monitoring. You're known for messing with children. You're also known for robbing people. Like, I don't think you should be allowed to just walk around anywhere. They should have a car to come get you. If you got to go somewhere, you need supervision at all times. This person is a danger to the community. That's all I'm saying. All of the ingredients of what I would consider a danger to the community. He's a danger to the children and to the old people. So he's a danger to everyone in the community. He should have never been walking around on nobody's street.
17 priors. He has numerous robbery arrests. He was on parole for robbery. He is known to do commercial robberies, and in one incident, he did a commercial robbery where he sexually abused an employee. He was arrested for robbery not soon after that one, and that's why he was on parole.
What?
Now, this is a live look outside of the Olton home here in Belrose. You can see 2 NYPD officers, a beautiful memorial here at the corner at the intersection of 87th Drive and 254th Street. This is where, again, friends, family, and even some elected officials, a massive gathering expected tonight for a vigil that will start at 7:30 p.m.
All right. I'm going to pause it there because that's pretty much the story. But it doesn't sound like this guy should have even been on the street. Like, I hope they don't let this just pass by and nobody says, maybe we should look at who we're allowing to just be on the street. Some people deserve to not be on the street, okay? Some people deserve to come back out, work, be productive citizens. Other people are dangers to the community. You need to monitor them. And it's not against their damn constitutional right. We all have the right to, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and all that kind of stuff. I get it, right? But this person is known to do dangerous stuff. And you got them walking around with warrants and open charges and registered sex offense, and nobody's on their ass. That's what I need my officers to do. Not be out there just messing with somebody sitting on the corner doing nothing. No, y'all need to be on his ass. He should have been monitored like he was a damn mafia member. He shouldn't have been going nowhere without somebody watching him. And instead, we see what happened. We see exactly what happened. So I'm hoping that this thing brings up a real conversation, because we've talked about it here on this channel before about monitoring and the legal system. And yes, there's some people that, you know, they did like a trespassing charge, just open containers, or like little, you know, drug possession, those kind of charges. Like drug possession is technically a victimless crime because you're the one possessing the drugs. Now, if you're selling them, that's different. But what I'm saying is, some people don't deserve to just be walking around. And if they're upset and think it's some type of civil rights violation, they can get Ben Crump or whoever the hell. But I think the public deserves to not have people like this just walking around. You've already proven who you are, sir. You got 17 assaults on your record. You shouldn't be able to go nowhere without the police somewhere looking at your ass. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Not everybody should live like that. But people with this kind of record, oh yeah. And it's not about him being black. If it was a white dude with the same record, I would say the same exact thing, because he's a danger to the community. That's it. It's ridiculous. I can't believe he was still walking around. Anyway, we move on. But before I do, I blame the legal system a little bit on this one. There needs to be some change to that. That's too much of a record to be able to just freely walk around, commit murders and arsons. On foot. He wasn't even in a car. He just walking around the neighborhood looking for something to get into. Ridiculous. All right. I think we're getting ready to get out of here. I'm trying to keep it short today. I got to be more careful, man. Got to be careful. Okay, this seems like this might be pretty mild. Since we got a bunch of police things today, which is weird, but it's probably because it's a Tuesday and the White House stuff normally doesn't happen until this afternoon. So Trump will probably make it into the news cycle, my news cycle, because it's different, by Wednesday. Some change, something going on. So for those that like the Trump stuff, we'll get back to it. It's just, this is not that channel. We talk about what we talk about. More about holding people accountable for bad behavior, and the people with bad behavior are not limited to the administration. So, unfortunate, but yeah. That last one, that's all legal system right there. I mean, got 17 charges for assaulting people and robbing them. We know what you about to do. Like, we know exactly. You know, this is a pattern at that point. 17 times, that's a pattern. Sorry. You're not even going to convince me. Like, no, I'll never do it again, bro. You did it 17 times, okay? The chances of you never doing that again are slim to none. Anyway, all right, what do we have here? So, hand gestures get somebody locked up in Vegas. That's about it. Oh, so apparently the gun hand gesture, you know, the one that they be using, is now looked at as a threat if you point that at somebody. So that's why the NFL said you can't do that anymore. NBA said that they can't do that. In celebration, they can't use the little gun thing because it is now considered a perceived threat. Now, this sounds pretty soft to me, but I guess, you know, they're trying to make everybody be nicer by forcing people to be nice, and it's making people be mean. But I get what they're saying. They're like, yeah, if you do that, the person is thinking that you're going to unalive them, and so that they can call the police and say that you threaten them. So don't make the little gun thing at people. Okay, that's a new thing. Letting you know.
And thank you for staying with us on Channel 13.
Got here. Oh, okay. Well, this one looks like some police got fired. Okay, let's see what this is about. We're going to take it out on this one for the day. Like I said, I just had a couple of stories we had to purge out real quick. Coming back around for this week. Rolling into October. Oh, before I move into it, like I said, for anybody that's with the No Kings situation, I know they're arranging another protest. I'm going to be doing some street content at the time, not doing a full-blown Charlie Kirk situation would prove me wrong or anything, but just going out there to talk to people, see what they're thinking. So if you guys are into protests and you want to have your voices heard on that side, please join that No Kings, but keep it peaceful, because they will send some people to pepper spray the shit out your ass and hit you with the pepper balls. They don't play with that. But you can go out there and be nice. Go be nice, okay? If things get crazy, get the hell out of there, though. All right? So anyway, let me tell you about this next story. Apparently there was a marshal in Vegas, lost his badge, and another one is on desk duty in wake of an alleged assault over hand gestures. So let's see what this is. No reply. I hear you. That's gun control. I can't do the logo thing. I mean, I don't know, what do we call it? The hand signal, the hand symbol? You're not allowed to do that at people anymore. Okay? So if you decide that you want to do that to somebody and the police lock you up, don't say I didn't warn you. Okay? So anyway, let's see what this one's about.
And thank you for staying with us on Channel 13 live at 6:30 tonight. I'm Trisha Keene.
And I'm Abel Garcia. We begin this half hour with a breaking follow-up to an exclusive 13 investigation Darcy Spears first reported last week.
That's right, and Darcy's here with new information about 2 city marshals embroiled in a federal lawsuit over allegations of unlawful arrest, excessive force, and falsifying police reports.
One of the officers in our report no longer has a badge. The other, we're told, is on desk duty. All of this in the wake of my investigation into a case of mistaken identity. Tim McCoy, his sister Alyssa King, and her boyfriend Kenny Kennedy are suing the city of Las Vegas and 6 marshals after a case of mistaken identity at the Fremont Street experience in late 2023.
It made me feel like an animal.
In Marshal Jorge Caloca's police report from that incident, he said they were looking for the driver of a black Dodge Durango who allegedly made a threatening hand gesture toward officers. But Tim, Alyssa, and Kenny...
That was the hand gesture, that one. The gesture of firing a firearm towards the officer. So that's what started it. See? Told you. Holding a firearm in a threatening manner.
Officers. But Tim, Alyssa, and Kenny weren't in a black Durango. They were driving a silver Hyundai sedan, and Tim, the driver of the Hyundai, did not make the hand gesture. What was the probable cause to even stop anyone in this case, be it the Durango drivers or your client? Is making a hand gesture against the law?
I don't believe that it is. And as part of our lawsuit, we stated that there was no probable cause at all. The officers were just extremely aggressive, and I think that they were just mad, about this person giving this hand gesture. And I mean, to top it off, it's the wrong person.
Attorney George Robinson represents Tim, Alyssa, and Kenny. He says his clients were met with unprofessionalism and outright aggression when trying to get answers about the person who did supposedly make the hand gestures.
You tell me what it doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. We go to jail too. We take it to jail too. You don't have to tell you guys anything at this point. Y'all don't know the car. Because y'all don't know who did it. Y'all don't know who did it. Y'all don't know. It doesn't matter because you detained him. You don't know who did it. Okay. He's still going to jail regardless. Oh, because he's a black man. And he was just the first one you saw, huh? Okay. It could have been me. It could have been anybody. That's all you guys do. You play the race card. It's not about that. Then what is it about? What card is he committing crime? What card is he playing? It's about committing crime.
Marshals Sergio Guzman and
that dude's voice was real soft. Feel like he needed a little more bass to make his point. But like I said, told you can't make that hand gesture.
Jorge Caloca are front and center in all the cell phone and body camera video.
Now you bring the tape.
Ultimately, citing lack of evidence, marshals did not arrest Tim. He was given a misdemeanor citation, and Kenny was arrested and charged with battery on an officer.
The officers in the case really make a number of misrepresentations in the report.
So dumb.
They misrepresent what was said. They misrepresent what they did. They even misrepresent what my client had in his pocket at the time. They said that he had a Dodge Durango key in his pocket, and it just wasn't to be found.
The charges were later dropped and both cases dismissed.
My clients filed reports with Internal Affairs shortly after this situation happened.
See, Ben Crump's supposed to be doing these cases, not roller coasters. Where's Ben Crump on this one? They got this guy. Anyway,
before they even came to me. And I don't think that there's been any discipline whatsoever.
We won't know if there's been any disciplinary action. The city claims it can't tell us due to employee privacy protections. But here's what we have since learned. Officer Jorge Caloca recently left the marshals, the city confirming Caloca separated from the city of Las Vegas on July 3rd, 2025. 2 weeks later, on July 17th, he was hired as a probationary officer with the North Las Vegas Police Department. After our story aired, I reached out to that department and to North Las Vegas elected leaders, asking for comment on Caloca's interactions as caught on cell phone and body camera footage in our report, as well as the allegations that he falsified his police report to justify those actions.
Now, how does he get to just go from one department to the next when he's like under investigation like that? And then they wonder why bad police, and he need to be monitored too. I get it, you know, he had to get another job or whatever, but like you just went to the next town over. You didn't even go far. You might still encounter the same people. You went to North Las Vegas as opposed to, I guess, South Las Vegas or Central Vegas. This is ridiculous. Like, over a hand gesture. Isn't that something?
North Las Vegas's communications manager responded, saying Jorge Caloca is no longer employed by the city of North Las Vegas. His separation was effective Tuesday, September 23rd,
So
the day
fired.
after I sent my email requesting comment.
So that means they didn't do no background checking up on him when he initially got there. And then when they got their notice, they checked it out and let him go. Why are they not checking him out before they take him on? Anybody else has to go through a pretty extensive background check to get a job. Apparently, these officers in this area, that's troublesome to me at minimum.
When I asked why, the city said the details of his employment are part of his personnel record and therefore confidential. I reached out to Caloca directly via phone and text, but he did not respond.
I was also told that Marshal Sergio Guzman has been taken off the streets and reassigned to the Fremont Street security room to monitor surveillance cameras. When I asked why, a spokesperson said the city of Las Vegas does not discuss security deployments or assignment of public safety officers.
Okay. So they're not necessarily on the street. One of them's free to go find another job, though, and end up back on the street. But at the end of the day, I think the main point that needs to be made in this one is it's a little bit sensitive that the gun hand gesture is now considered an assault on a police officer, or probable cause to believe that an assault would be attempted on a police. Like that one's reaching a little bit. That one's reaching a little bit, you know? And I'm not sure who voted for that, who said that that was going to be okay. It was probably some pretty sensitive person. It was like, it makes me feel like they're going to kill me. So, yeah, that's an issue for me. Because if you're the person, like not the person that did it, and the police come over there asking you a bunch of questions about something like that, and you didn't even do it, and they're like, you know, there's always the people talking about, well, he didn't comply. But what if he didn't do it? And you got these officers jumping all in your face talking about they're going to lock you up for assault on an officer. And you didn't even do anything. I can see why you might argue a little bit. A lot of people don't understand it. They're like, why didn't he just comply? Because sometimes it's like it doesn't make sense. And you're asking questions, and some of these officers are not very understanding of that human experience and be willing to explain what is actually happening, and some people resist. Now, granted, some people just be out of line. But if you really didn't do something and you got 4 or 5 officers jumping on you, you're probably not going to be the nicest person, you know? And I think justifiably so. That's just my opinion, okay? That is just my opinion. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, the handgun gesture being considered an assault now, that is that's soft. That's like I don't know how to, there's like a word for it. It's escaping me right now, but I know that it is some bullshit to lock people up for that. That is so goofy. But they in the end didn't lock them up for that. They locked them up for not being nice, like failure to comply, that whole thing. And then the second guy with the effeminate voice was the one that ended up doing the most time, not the first guy that they thought gave him the hand gesture. So the whole thing is goofy. The whole situation is goofy. It was a waste of everybody's time. And if you're in Vegas, you do not want to go to jail in Vegas. Like, especially if you're not from Las Vegas or Nevada, and you're from New York or wherever, and you're out there for the, weekend, you lose your whole vacation. From Friday to Monday, you stuck. And then the judge or constable or whatever they call them out there, you might get out on Monday, but you done lost the whole weekend. So I will say this, maybe they were too aggressive with the officer, but the officers were wrong as well. I don't know, man. That's a rough one, but it all started with the damn come on, man. That's soft as shit. Anyway. Can you imagine? You imagine the officer, oh, sorry, wrong. There we go. All right, sorry. Wrong shot there. Imagine the officers sitting there, they're all like standing on the corner talking. They see the person come by in the car with the little hand gesture joint, and the one officer was like, "Did you see what the hell he just did?" And the other officer's like, "What just happened?" "He just did the gun hand gesture out the window." And they're like, "Get him!" Like everybody's calling it in. We got a hand gesturer in a black Durango. He's heading down Fremont right now. Like, come on, man. That's very soft, guys. Very soft. Well, like I said, it's just soft. That's just a soft thing to do. And whoever put that in place to say that that's a thing, you're soft. Okay? So that's for you soft asses that want to call that an assault. I know an assault. That ain't it. Okay? And they will literally have your head. Somebody got fined the other day in the NFL for doing that hand gesture. Like they did it up at the crowd or something like that. Had to pay like $50,000 for that. Ridiculous, man. That's all I'm saying, man. We hard on one thing and soft on the other. Pause. But like the outrage for one thing is overraged, and the lack of outrage for other things is underraged. Okay? And I shouldn't say underage, because that sounds like something totally different. That is definitely not what I mean. So nonetheless, the BS, as you can imagine, continuously piles up. Shouts to Purple Groovy and No Reply for hanging out with me today. Because I didn't do a Saturday show, YouTube did make me pay for that. If you are inconsistent in showing up, they make you pay for it as far as the impressions that they put out. So make sure that y'all are sharing the video, liking the video, putting it on other forums such as X and Reddit, things like that. Don't just stay here on YouTube. I try not to. But I have my fun over here with y'all, so that's why I got to keep coming back. Yeah, Al Bond, you know what I'm talking about. They softened the whole thing up now. The NFL got soft. They did. But it was because some people were getting hurt physically and other people were having their feelings hurt with the gestures. They were like, he scored a touchdown and he danced. He did the whole dance, and then everybody came down and they did a dance. And people's feelings got hurt. No, NFL got soft on us. Now, speaking of the NFL, before I get out of here, I just got to say, for my NFL fans, if you are a Miami fan, I feel for you. I saw the Tyreek Hill video from Sunday, or was it yesterday? It might have been yesterday. He's probably not going to be back this season. I'll be surprised if y'all see him ever again. He's going to take his $72 million guaranteed and sit down and be done. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All my football fans, if you can stomach it, you can see that video. That joint was rough. My man looked like a pretzel. But anyway, let me get my shout outs and get up out of here because it is that time of day. And y'all make sure you come back for the Thursday show this week. As you can imagine, there will be something political will happen that's worth discussing for just a moment. In the meanwhile, gas is still too damn high, as usual. But make sure that you're going out into the world and being productive. Don't just sit on your ass and complain about the world. Go out there and be the change that you want to see. Okay? But make sure if the BS comes in front of you, you purge it immediately. Don't let it get past you so the next person got to deal with it. It is your job to purge all BS as soon as you see it. Immediately identify it, problem solved, okay? That way, that bullshit don't keep moving. So anyway, special shouts to the lovely IAMZ. Stopped in earlier here. Oh, there she goes again. IAMZ is in there. We got, plus we got No Reply, Purple Groovy, Al Bond, and I know we had a couple folks stop in earlier. Storm 1168 or something like that stopped in. And of course, you know, the bots that stopped in as well. We appreciate the bots for stopping in to make sure that we weren't over here promoting violence, as they say that we've done before, or promoting drug usage, as they say that we've done before. But we're just over here purging. I'm having a good time, and I appreciate y'all for stopping through. Just make sure that when Thursday comes around, I see you, though, okay? And tell a friend to bring a friend, and we can definitely set this thing. All right, so I'm going to get up out of here. Appreciate y'all. And that, my friends, is the bullshit. And we out.